some huge news out of the college football world on Wednesday that might have flown under the radar, but could have huge ramifications for the sport. A group of former college athletes were granted a temporary restraining order by a Louisiana judge that allows them to return to college ball for one more season. So about 30 athletes were involved in this suit, including 16 football players, several who have already signed with NFL teams, participated in training camps, or even played in preseason games. But if the NFL teams that they're with grant them their release by September 1st, they are clear to join a college roster. This is a bombshell. Adam, what more can you tell us about the ramifications of this?
Well, we had Pete Thamel on Get Up this morning, and apparently there's a judge in Colorado that's going to issue a further ruling today, and I think there's a lot that's up in the air. What I do know from the NFL standpoint is that on Sunday, August 30th, that is the final NFL cutdown day, there are 32 NFL teams that essentially will be releasing 37 players each. That's 1,184 players. I don't know how many of those 1,184 players have used up all 5 years of their college eligibility, but I would venture to say probably not a lot. So you're talking about the prospect of multiple players who don't make it on the NFL rosters, then having the option, potentially, of going back to play in college football. And then there'll be cases where even a player who has the chance to join a NFL practice squad or even an active roster at the veteran minimum might opt to go back to college football. So college football programs now, as Pete Thamel alluded to, are actually looking at NFL teams and studying preseason tape to figure out how they might round out their roster. And if they're bringing in NFL players on September 1st, then that means they're cutting some players from their college programs. And we are living in an unprecedented Wild West world where it's gotten crazier and crazier. And this may be the single craziest moment that we've seen yet.
It's wild because there are a couple names here. So Oregon State running back Anthony Hankerson, who's with the Seattle Seahawks. Jack Pyburn, who's currently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has not been cut. Former LSU pass rusher. Daquan Wright from Mississippi State. Wydett Williams. You spoke with the lawyer who's representing these 16 players this morning. What more can you tell us about where things stand?
I talked to Ryan Downton before the show, and he said, listen, the guys that he's representing have opportunities to play in college, but he also says they wouldn't have gone through the NFL draft process had they known there was a chance to get this fifth year. So he's saying all this is self-inflicted by the NCAA. They tried to sue in October to get these players cleared for a fifth year. Now you're in this situation where the NCAA essentially excluded these athletes, and now they're going to be available to be on a collegiate roster. And it could be chaos, as Adam is saying. But you also have college programs that have to make some really difficult decisions. It's game time right now. Most of these teams have used up their scholarships and all their roster spots. How many guys do you bring in and say, hey, I knew you were the one linebacker, now you're moving down to two? It could be very disruptive going forward. But according to the attorney, he believes that the NCAA essentially did this to themselves.
Jordan, I spoke with a personnel executive in college football this morning. He told me there are pro players in the portal, which is a wild thing to
say that again, please.
There are pro players in the portal.
Yes.
These guys may not have made a 53-man roster just yet, but they are pro players. Explain a little bit more about the 5 for 5, the new rule in college football, the eligibility rule, and how we got here with this.
Yeah, the bulk of these players only played 4, and so they're going, wait, we would have maybe stuck around if this rule, had been in place, and we're granted or we deserve that fifth year. Here's why this is really good for college football, and I'm not saying I like it, because I don't necessarily like it. You're kind of having your cake and you're eating it too. But the pendulum for college football needs to swing so far in the Wild West direction that we blow it up entirely and figure out what this new era of college football with the NCAA, without the NCAA, however it is, it needs to be completely restructured. But here's what's going to happen. A lot of these guys are going to go back to college because it's smart. Think about this. Jack Pyburn is a great example. He had 2 sacks a couple days ago in a preseason game. He was an undrafted free agent. Let's say he is a victim of that final cut on August 30th. But Tampa goes, hey, we want to keep you on the practice squad. Okay, so now he's sitting there going, practice squad for first two-year player maxes out at $247,000. You get $13,000 a week. That's great money. None of it's guaranteed. I remember being a practice squad guy looking every Tuesday out there, what quarterbacks are they trying out? Because every Tuesday, people are coming through that could take my job. I was guaranteed nothing. I was not guaranteed a single week. So you got a guy like him going, well, the max I can make is $250, or You know how much you make in college for being a quality defensive end, let alone elite? $600,000 minimum. Well over $1 million, most realistic.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. So I can go back to school, make $1 million, and then set myself up to be drafted maybe better or have a better scenario next year in the NFL. It's a no-brainer for these players. So we will see it happen. And what the ramifications of that are going to be is what'll be fun to watch. Get your popcorn ready.
I got to tell you, I'm sitting back here listening to all of this. This is the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of into it. I kind of like it, actually. It's so stupid and it's so crazy that it actually is interesting. Because in my head, I'm thinking, so you're telling me on August 30th, Adam Schefter is going to report player X was just released by the world champion Seattle Seahawks, and he is signed with the national champion Indiana Hoosiers.
Yes.
I mean, that's on the that's on the table.
Absolutely.
Yes.
How am I not interested in that? I am truly a sports fan. I am fortunate enough to also be in the media, but I'm a fan. This is cool from a fan. We like, as fans, the wild, wild west. Yep. It stinks for you, Adam, because this is going to be a disaster.
Oh, I don't care once they get cut. It's Pete Thamel's responsibility.
This is interesting.
Off your plate.
How do you pass it on to the next person? That's fascinating. But, I mean, the concept that a school could be out there, give me a school that you would say in college is one quarterback away from really being a difference maker. Is there a school that comes to the top of your head that you would say is a quarterback away?
Alabama.
Is Kalen DeBoer now looking around at the practice squad potential of some of these teams based on when you spoke to the lawyer, Myron, and saying, I may have my guy?
They are. And here's the thing. The NCAA is losing all of these cases, whether it's at the federal or state level. So they don't have any power. And I think here's the other element. You can make so much money at the collegiate level. It's a competitor.
The college game is paying more than the pro game in certain cases.
In most cases, if you weren't taken in the first or second round, really, you're taking a pay cut to be in the NFL.
And that's why this is going to be a real story, because these schools are offering big-time money for some of these athletes.
And is this for anybody, or is it just for the undrafted guys?
Here's when you just said that also triggered another thought in my mind. Mm-hmm. How is this sustainable that college sports are paying guys who aren't good enough to stick to a 53-man roster more money than an NFL? The Seattle Seahawks just sold for $9.612 billion, and we've got college programs that are paying more to the players to go play there than the NFL would pay them.
Easy answer to that.
Good.
Here's the easy answer. There aren't NFL teams in many of the cities we're talking about. So that is their NFL team.
Yeah.
So you have to look at that. Austin, Texas does not have an NFL team.
Okay.
Alabama does not have an NFL team.
But it's
Columbus,
not sustainable to pay all these guys all this money at the college level.
It is, if that is the NFL team, and that is the business that comes in by way of the TV deals, the alumni base, et cetera. It's different if you have a school that also has an NFL team in the same market and you're splitting the dollars of the big boosters and donors and advertisers. If that's all there is, in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that is their NFL team. They're not worried about the NFL. They're worried about Alabama football. And when Jordan Rodgers says, if you give them whoever that quarterback is off an NFL squad, it is sustainable, because that's like asking how is paying for an NFL team sustainable. Yeah. It's the same thing. It is their NFL team.
Here's why I think it's sustainable. What NIL and RevShare have done, it's allowed the guys who are behind the scenes as boosters, as maybe supporters of the program, to almost act like owners of these teams.
Bingo.
Right? They have personnel influence now. So now there's a guy out there, and if you're the multimillionaire who sits in the suite and you can go help that team get that guy who's the difference maker.
Excellent.
You're Jerry Jones of Indiana football, of Nebraska football. That's why it's sustainable, because these guys feel like they're NFL owners.
Yeah, give it 5 years. Courtney Cronin could buy Indiana. She can't buy the Bears. And that's Myron's point is a brilliant point, is that the price of sports teams, we just saw this with the Lakers, are the valuation, not actually what they're paying all the times, but the valuation is so high that paying hundreds of thousands or millions is a lot more manageable than paying billions, or even paying something in the valuation of billions.
It won't be sustainable if the NFLPA steps in, though, Schefter, right? Is there any talk about that? Because shouldn't it be once you sign an NFL contract,
I think there are a lot of
questions.
questions. Some of these players were eligible. They entered the NFL draft last year. They didn't get drafted, but they entered the draft. So now they go back to college. They're going to enter the draft again next year? What is the NFL going to say about it? Again.
Could be a big supplemental draft.
Again, we are entering this lawless, unprecedented period that we've never seen. And I don't know what the judge in Colorado is going to say today, and I don't know what impact that's going to have. But I do know that the roster cutdown day is August 30th.
And
college football
week one in
is
college
September
football.
1.
Yep.
And we are looking at a turbulent, tumultuous, unprecedented period that we've never before seen with something that is historic potentially.
Yeah, fascinating story here. Adam, we appreciate you joining
Thank
us
you.
here this morning. Coming up